G'day guys, ZiggyD here and welcome back to the Avorion Survival Guide. To kick this episode off, I want to show you guys two things that you will encounter as you head inwards towards the center of the galaxy, which should be your goal, to progress inwards so you can get better and better materials, weapons, equipment, and so forth, as well as that's just kind of the general goal of the game, is to work your way inwards towards the center of the galaxy. So there's two things you'll encounter that I want to show you first, and the first one is these rifts. Every now and then you'll kind of get these tears in the fabric of space-time. The story is these were created by the calamity that has rocked the galaxy. And these guys will stop you from using your warp drive, your hyperspace drive, basically to travel around them or through them or into them. You can't do that. So as you can see here, even if I chuck in my increased warp size hyperspace upgrade here, you'll see that it's cut off basically because I'm right against this rift here. We actually can't even kind of warp to the side here. We can't warp to these places here that are warpable because it's kind of cutting us from warping in that direction. So that'll stop that, and it'll stop us from warping to the other side of this. You'll encounter a lot of these as you progress inwards, and they will cause you to need to detour to find creative ways around or through or over them. As you head inwards, they may block your path, so navigating around those can be a little tricky. In the case where it's like this, you can basically just head around it and follow the gates, which will always lead around them if there are some there. Otherwise, you can warp through space, use your hyperspace to jump around them like that. Sometimes they'll merge as well, so you might get like an L shape here, which can make things a little bit more difficult as well, especially if you find yourself in hostile space. The second thing you may have noticed when we first started was this thing right here, wormholes. These guys are randomly placed throughout the galaxy, and they're like a jump gate, but they will allow you to travel great distances usually. They're not belong to any faction, so they don't cost you anything to use them. There's no fee. You can just fly through them. The first time I saw one, and I was like, is this going to tear my ship apart? But you can safely fly through them. And once you locate one, you can actually look on your map here and follow the line, and it'll show you where it takes you. So sometimes they may just take you to the other side of the galaxy. Like if we follow this one here, it just takes us all the way up to the other side of the galaxy. And basically up there. So that's not any advantage to us. It doesn't take us inwards, it just takes us to the other side of the galaxy. However, you can use these in interesting ways. Let's say, for example, you have friendly space here, and you locate one of these that's heads somewhere else in the galaxy. What you could do is take this to the other side, locate a faction there, and become enemies with that faction. You can then raid that faction, and then just pop back through the wormhole to get back to friendly space. And because they're so far apart, you're not likely to be encountering much in the way of repercussions for that. Usually when you are in hostile space, you'll encounter headhunters that will chase you down, kind of like bounty hunters. But you won't be encountering any of those if you're on the other side of the galaxy, so not a problem. You kind of slip in and out undetected, so you can use that, and we may end up using that in the future. For now, though, I've located one that heads inwards towards the center of the galaxy, and this is actually a very, very nice find for us, because this takes us a pretty good whack inwards. That's like a good 20-30 jumps at our current jump speed. And that takes us inwards to where we want to be going. This will probably be far enough in that we can start locating some Naonite, which is probably going to be our goal. So this is a pretty useful one, and we're definitely going to take this because it allows us to skip forwards quite a great deal. So a pretty nice find. Just be aware though, if you find one that is skipping you forwards a lot, then that could present interesting challenges for you if you take a little crappy ship that's underprepared into and you end up in hostile space or in pirate space or something like that, and the ships have shields and much more powerful guns than you and are just larger than you, then that could cause problems. And as you can see as we warped in, your ship is very weak compared to other ships in this region. Let's do a quick scan with the R key and the G key just to make sure this is empty space, and it looks like we are in empty space just here. So this spot just here is only the wormhole. However, we do have a bunch of energy signatures around us that we can explore and find out what is going on here. So we're just going to be doing so fairly carefully though. We'll use our hyperspace upgrade so our cooldown is reduced, and we're going to warp into this sector here and just see what's up. Could be pirate space, we don't know. Could be friendly, could just be a neutral faction that we can either make friends or enemies with. Given that this is our path inwards, probably be a good idea to make friends with whatever faction we encounter here if possible. Having some friends in this space would be very advantageous to us at the moment because we are currently quite weak. Unfortunately though, we do locate a hostile faction that we have bad relations with. They might not necessarily be attacking us on sight at bad relations, but these guys do not like us. So, luck of the draw, these guys are not very friendly, so we're going to have to be a little careful in here. Not sure if this guy's going to be attacking us, but if we do, we will be in a bit of danger. I'm going to take that upgrade out so we don't drain our power down too much. We can hang out for a bit and see if these guys present much of a threat. See if they have shields. Do any of them have shields? Some of them do have shields. You can see that blue bar down in the bottom right. So some of these ships are Naonite and do have shields. So that can potentially be a little bit of a danger. What we do need to do is locate some titanium salvage or mining lasers in order to be able to obtain Naonite. I can actually see over here that we've encountered our first Naonite asteroids, which is going to allow us to get some shields, which is our highest priority at this point, to protect our ship and get some shields. And once we have a decent amount of resources, I'd actually like to build a new ship, a bigger ship. We do have some... that looks like it's a bit of a mixture of factions here. We have the Ulskier Corporation. Not sure if we've met them yet. Let's just check. No, I don't think we have met these guys yet, but these guys are a little bit more trusting, a little bit more friendly, so it's possible that these other guys here, the cuckoo, are a little bit cuckoo. Maybe they're a little bit anxious and don't trust strangers very easily, so we're automatically on bad relations with them. And for different factions do have different personality traits as well. We can actually have a look in here at the different at the different factions. The cuckoo, very emphatic, empathic even, active, smart, generous, but paranoid and strict. So it might be the paranoid thing, or it just might be the luck of the draw in terms of why these guys are not particularly fond of us. But it is good though that we have found some other guys in here that should be pretty close to this area, the Ulskier Corporation, that we might be able to make friends with. So what we should probably do is jump around and see if we can find some Ulskier space, because it's going to be a little bit more safer for us to get started, and we'll have an easier time locating some titanium salvage or mining lasers that we can take advantage of if we warp around a bit. So for now, what we might do is use our actual hyperspace drive just to warp to, say, over here and check out this space and see if we can't just like explore around a bit and see if we can find some more friendly space that we'll be able to trade in a little bit more easily. Alright, so this new zone seems to be a rather large asteroid field. It looks like it just has one ship of the Cuckoo, so it's a bit of a mining sector. However, I have located a large sellable asteroid here, so we could use this to try and boost our relationship with the Cuckoo, or probably better yet, to consolidate our relationship with the other faction that we encountered. So the... let's see if we can find these guys. I believe it was the Ulskier Corporation. So we may well be able to claim this and sell it to the Ulskier Corporation to give us a little bit of credits, and also to boost our relations a bit. Defeating some Zotan in here would also boost our relations, though the Zotan are going to be much more powerful as we're closer to the center of the galaxy, so that would be fairly dangerous. For now, I'm going to turn my weapons off so the Zotan don't notice me, and maybe we can just chill and watch them kill one of the miners of this faction. This could end up being a faction that we decide to raid if we can establish a bit of a safe point in this sector, in this area of space here. So let's go ahead and claim this, and then we'll go ahead and sell this. It looks like we can only sell this to the Cuckoo, so... it's gonna give us a big reputation boost, but not very many credits. It looks like it's not close enough to Ulskier space that we'll be able to sell it to help them out at all. So we could just sell it to the Cuckoo. We can always still make enemies with them later on, but we'll at least get a small amount of credits. And it's not like I'm going to come back here, and it's certainly not like I'm going to build a mine back here as well. Not a very good spot for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and sell it anyway. I'll take the cash, even though we may not end up being friends with these guys. What we could do is pop over here, just have a little bit of a look around here. We have the Cuckoo vessel just here. We're not on bad relations with them anymore, we're actually just on poor relations, which is a step up, believe it or not. Poor relations are better than bad relations. I'm pretty sure that this frigate is going to be destroyed by these Zotan. Either way, we can go in and maybe pick up some, if some mining or salvage lasers drop, then that could be quite good for us. So I'm going to move into about like 7,000 meters, 7 kilometers even. there's a word for 7,000 meters, I think it's kilometers. And watch the destruction as it occurs, and we can already see some stuff dropping there. So if we can get in there once this fighting stops, well, it looks like one of them actually picked it up. It looks like maybe the Zotan picked that up. That's alright, I'm sure some other stuff will drop. We just won't be able to use our weapons to blow up any salvage because the Zotan will not approve of that. So we're just going to kind of hang back here. We're not exactly out of range. But we could get out of range pretty quickly if we had any sort of issues. But I'm going to wait for this guy to get destroyed. He's actually pretty tough. So it's going to take the Zotan a little while to destroy him. While we're watching, let's talk about some of the weapons fire we're seeing on screen, because it's actually pretty helpful to be able to identify different types of weapon fire. So we've got some slower moving, glowing projectiles. Those are plasma, and those do bonus damage to shields. It's primarily what they do. They usually hit pretty hard, but are slower moving, and will drain energy a lot of the time as well. But the main thing is they will shred your shields. Those very fast firing purple bolts, up in this direction just here, those will be pulse cannons, and what they do is they actually have a chance of firing through shields. I'm pretty sure they'll be pulse cannons, because they're quite fast moving and small energy projectiles, so they should well be pulse cannons. They'll go through shields and still cause hull damage, so that's why it's still important to have a strengthy, a decent strength hull even when you have shields. You're not completely immune when you have shields. Some weapons can penetrate shields. The very fast kind of glowing orange stuff is your typical chain gun fire. And some of the slower moving ones that we're seeing every now and then, let me see if I can spot some. I think this guy was firing some earlier, maybe this guy over here. Some of the bigger ones, bigger slowing moving ones, there's some brighter orange ones. Those are typically bolter fire, so they'll deal bonus damage to hulls. So pretty handy to spot some of that stuff. Later on we'll see more lasers, cannons, launchers, all sorts of different things, which it's useful to know about. That poor frigate never stood a chance. Let's see if we can go get anything here. Unfortunately, there was one weapon drop, but it did get scooped up by one of the Zotans, so no luck there. Looks like a little bit of titanium salvage, but again, we can't really grab that, so no luck for us, unfortunately. Our waiting didn't pay off this time. Okay, so as we didn't encounter another friendly in this sector, I think probably what we want to do is jump up in this direction instead. So maybe I'll jump to this energy signature. So to do that, I'm just going to have to put in my hyperspace drive once again. And then we'll calculate a jump over there. We're just going to leave the Zotan for now. We are not ready to face those guys. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. Looks like this is another cuckoo sector here. We've got some resource depot and trading depot. Nothing too exciting that we're looking for. I think probably jumping over here. We did get a distress call over there, though distress calls are quite dangerous to answer if you're a little bit underprepared. And since we don't have any shields or anything at the moment, that'd be a bit of a risk. Let me just have a quick scan for any asteroids while we wait for our jump calculation. We're going to move on to the next sector. So there's plenty of Naonite asteroids we've been seeing, so we will be able to obtain some, but we do need to first find an equipment dock that we can buy a titanium mining laser, or locate some salvage lasers where we can do some salvaging to get that instead. Alright, we've got a lot more cuckoo in this sector. There is a gate that jumps pretty far north. I'm wondering where this friendly sector, because they had this one building in here, so they could be off in this direction, they could be off in this direction, or this direction. Unlikely they're in this direction, so it's a bit hard to tell though. So we might have a look at the cost of this gate. So we have a north gate somewhere here. There's a southeast gate, there's a south gate, and there's a north gate over there. It's 2,400 credits, but we do have 1,000,000 credits at the moment, so I'm not too worried about paying that amount. Okay, this is a promising sign. We located a jump gate here that's owned by a different faction. In fact, there's another poor relationships faction here as well. This guy here, the Eoko. The Echo. So we've got a few hostile factions in this area. This is exciting though, because it means if we want to go pirate mode, there's plenty of raiding opportunities. But the good sign that I was talking about is this one just here. So we've located an Olskir Corporation gate. This will almost certainly jump to the Olskir Corporation. It looks like it's the west gate, so it looks like Olskir are located on this side over here. So we can go ahead and take this gate. And since these guys are more friendly, we can do some shopping here and set up a bit of a base of operations. Also, we can find out if these guys are enemies with anyone, because if we see any faction wars, then that presents a good opportunity. If we're going to try and make enemies with someone, especially early on, where we're not very powerful, the best thing to do is going to be to make enemies with the enemies of your friends, because then you can get their help, and you can participate in faction wars, which will boost... it'll boost your relations with your friends as well. If you help them fend off an attack or help them win a fight, that'll boost your relations massively. In fact, participating in one faction war will give you a massive change to the relationship status with both of the participating factions. One will hate you and one will love you, basically. So we do find ourselves in a scrapyard. Hello, this is a pretty good find for us. So scrapyards are interesting and quite profitable. So this is a scrapyard in Naonite space, so we should well be able to locate some Naonite. I think I can even see some green glow on some of those. Yeah, there's some green engines on that one down there. If we move around a little bit, we can see that over there. Green engines down on the bottom right. So that's a very good sign. This is a good location for us to get Naonite. All we need is a titanium salvaging laser, and we currently, I don't believe, have one of those. We have an iron salvaging laser, which will not be able to get titanium. So if when we do come back, once we locate a titanium salvaging laser, what you can actually do is talk to the scrapyard and purchase a salvaging license. You can also sell your ship if you want to, but we're not going to do that. You can purchase a salvaging license for X amount of time, and in that time you can salvage as much stuff as in here as you want. It's a bit hard to see in this because it's a bit of a foggy sector, but there is a lot of salvage here. As you can see, all the ships over there, and you can get a lot of salvage from some of these. So all we need to do is follow some of these gates into more friendly space, or maybe jump over here or here, and see if we can't find a place that has a trading facility. An easy way to do that is if we can locate any like freighters or cargo ships or anything, we can actually talk to them and ask them where their home sector is, and they'll usually tell you where their home base is. And the home sectors are good because they typically contain basically everything you could need. For now though, it doesn't look like there's any friendly ships in here we could talk to, so we might just jump down this way and then see if we can't locate an equipment dock somewhere. We've got the money because of our trading last episode, so we can buy our way into the equipment that we need to progress. Okay, and here there's a few factories and a resource depot. We could potentially buy some Naonite. Let's have a little bit of a look where this resource depot is, and if they're offering any Naonite for sale. Depending on where this is in space, they may or may not be. They are offering Naonite. It is pretty expensive, but we could well buy some of that. I think since we've located this resource depot, it's going to be a pretty good idea to buy a little bit of Naonite just so we can get some shields equipped, because then if we get into any little scuffles, if we get shot by anything, we're not going to have to pay money on repairs because the shields will absorb the damage, and that saves you a huge amount of money. So we are going to move to this resource depot and buy, let's say like 5,000 Naonite, enough to build a decent amount of shields and maybe upgrade our generators to support those shields, because we are going to need a lot of extra power generation. So we're going to do that, and that'll help us quite a bit. We won't have much firepower compared to a lot of the enemies we'll be facing, but the shields at least will keep us a lot safer, which will be good for salvaging operations and participating in your little fights, trying to do some mid-combat salvaging, any of that sort of stuff. It's going to help with quite a lot. So we're going to pull into dock over here, just careful not to crash. Let's go ahead and turn. And we'll pull into dock here and buy ourselves a bit of Naonite. We do have plenty of cash, so we can afford to do this. Normally this would be a bit of an expensive way to obtain some first Naonite, but nonetheless, getting tiered up as quickly as possible so we can get access to the next useful thing, in this case shields, which is incredibly useful, is well worth it. So we're going to buy 5,000 Naonite, which costs about 100k? 114k, yeah. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now we'll take a quick little detour into the build menu. And what we're going to do first is we're going to use the view tool, the hide specific blocks tool, and we're going to locate, where are we? Generators. Okay, so there's our generators currently. Then we're going to go down to Naonite, we're going to upgrade. Naonite is much higher production in terms of energy generation, so we're going to transform these blocks into Naonite generators, and you'll see our generated energy go up quite a bit here. So it's currently 3.1 gigawatts. It's 3.2, just under 3, 3.4, 3.44, and 3.47. We might need a bit more power generation than that. This might not be enough, and this is why I want to upgrade ships. We could certainly continue to upgrade and extend this ship, and we could just also scale up its size. Those are all viable options, but I think we're getting to the point now where we're going to want to start building a new ship pretty soon. So I'm going to just roll over so that glow isn't heinous, and then I'm going to remove this bottom plate, this titanium edge for now. And we actually do have a fair bit of space here. We actually could have done this without moving the plate, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a look at what's going on. And we're going to actually expand our generators a bit as well, because we're going to need a lot of power generation in order to do this. We can just double check here. Are these iron frameworks? Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at frameworks here, and that is indeed all the frameworks. All right. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and transform at least 2 of these into generators. So I'll whack these 2 in here. That gets us to 5.49 generated energy, so that's pretty good. We've got 2,300 Naonite left, and we can now go ahead and produce some shields. The other important thing at Naonite is a Hyperspace Core. You can see here if we whack a Hyperspace Core on, it does increase our jump reach. However, it is a decent drain on power as well, and at this point is not a huge priority for us. It will increase the speed of our exploration, but shields are more important. So for now, we're going to focus more on shields. So let's go ahead and upgrade these into shields. And as you can see, we now have shields. Oh yes. We had 2,000 hull, and we've now got 3,200 shields, so we more than doubled our total life capacity on our ship, basically, because we now have that shields. And you can see the shields begin to charge down the bottom there, just above the health. So if I hold shift, you can see the shields charging up over time here. These can be influenced by shield mods now. That we have shields, we can actually influence them with shield mods, so we can increase the shield durability. There's some that convert any excess energy into shields. The best ones are ones that increase your shield durability and increase your shield recharge rate, and sometimes there's a special mod that'll actually refill your shields up to 25% when your shields first become depleted, so that can be quite good as well. For now, I'm going to swap back to guns because we do have some alien ships warping back in. We're going to try and build a little bit more shields first before we fight with these guys. So we'll try and do that here. And what I might do is just kind of sneak some sneaky little shields in here. We could certainly buy some more Naonite. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do. So let's go ahead and bring this down till we can afford it, which is about 235. And this should be just protected by the armor, but we will have shields now anyway, so the shields will protect themselves. It's not a great idea to leave them exposed, and we could certainly build some armor back over that, but for now I'm not too worried. Alright, so that brings us to 3,500 shields, and that's going to make us a lot safer here. Just try not to expose our bellies. And let's see if we can't locate those aliens. There they are. There's a salesman near us. Let me just check what he's selling real quick. Where are you, salesman? There he is. He's all the way over there near the fight. We can actually ask this guy where his home sector is, and he'll give us A Alliance Prime. We haven't met these guys yet. We can actually hold shift and click this, and it'll show where the home sector is. And then what you can do is you can just add a note. So you can go... can we not add a note? We can't add a note here? For some reason we can't add a note. But what we can just do instead is remember coordinates. And that'll put a little marker there. Oh, then we can add the notes. We have to remember the coordinates first. So this is a home sector. We can just flag that as a home sector. If we spell this right, it'll be pretty helpful, because then what we can do later on is we can actually go home, or home sector in here, and it'll actually search for any home sector notes. It'll actually search our notes for anything mentioning home sectors, so we can locate that later, which can be quite helpful. So that's pretty good to know. Let's go ahead. Since there's a bunch of ships defending here, this is a very good opportunity to boost our relationships with the Olski Corporation. We want these guys to love us. Our relation's good at the moment, but if we can get them to admired, then that'll be quite good for us in terms of trading and getting cheaper prices, and also getting help from them in the future. So we're going to go help them out a little bit here, but we're going to do so somewhat cautiously. So let's just move into range and see if we can pick off some of these Zotan ships. Enabling weapons. We have one just here. We might engage this guy. Help them out a little bit here. We did upgrade our weaponry recently, so it feels pretty good. Our firepower is a bit better than it used to be, so not too bad. Looks like we're able to do a decent amount of damage here, especially with the help of a few friends. And there's a solid boost to the AE Alliance and the Olski Corporation, so we're making other friends nearby as well. Okay, we've got some more Zotan here. Let's go ahead and move our into salvage laser range here to get a bit of bonus damage, though we'll try and stay out of the crossfire. This guy's currently focused on something else. We'll just be careful not to shoot our friends. I did a little bit. Just being careful not to shoot our friends. Any bonus titanium is going to be helpful, because we're still going to use titanium. It's quite likely we'll be using a bit of titanium in our next build, so not at all... it's not at all useless. Iron is still good for inertia dampeners as well, so we're going to be using all three of the elements, though we should have enough iron to last us. And here's one more Zotan as well. As you can see, this guy's got shields as well. Our shields are fully charged, and that's what we want to be doing in combat for now, is from now on basically, is keeping an eye on those shields. As they start to get down to like 30%, that's when we want to dip out of combat and give them a chance to recharge. If we do that, we can keep our hull protected, and life will be good. We also want to be paying attention to any weapons fire from enemies, for anything that looks like pulse cannons or stuff that's going to be penetrating our shields. If you notice you start taking hull damage, then you want to start being pretty careful, because they could have a weapon that penetrates shields, and that's going to cost you money. Wherever possible, we want to be avoiding hull damage, because it's just wasted money in the end. Might actually get a little bit of Naonite of this guy once he explodes, but nothing compared to what we'd get if we had a proper salvage laser. Our iron salvage laser is not going to get any Naonite off this guy. Just a little bit that'll fall out by default anyway. So you can see our shields are holding up pretty well against this fire. This guy is shooting cannons at us, which are high explosive weapons and pretty good damage normally, but shields held up just fine. Still at that 90% shield capacity, so pretty good. Bit more relationship boosting, and we can blow up these crafts here. Although we're not going to get much Naonite, we will get some credits and also potentially some ship components, because we still do need a salvage laser or a mining laser. Salvage laser would be ideal because we know where a scrapyard is, so that'd be like I think a perfect direction to go in this episode, is to get ourselves a salvage laser. We've got some shields going, and if we spend 15 minutes in a salvage field, we're likely going to have enough resources to build like a frigate-class ship to really take a step up. Ooh, what is that? It's a force turret. Don't hit me. This noodle ship is swinging around. Force turrets, not particularly useful. They allow you to push and pull things, kind of like a tractor beam. They don't seem to have too many uses at the moment. You can do some things with them once you have like powerful ones where you can like fling asteroids around and stuff, but it's a bit more of a goof-off weapon than it is a serious piece of armament, so not a particularly useful find. Something we can sell. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a salvaging laser, but we did not find one. But we are in friendly territory here, so we can take a few gates and see what we can find. Let's go ahead and take the south gate and see what's over. Ooh, actually, what we can do is find the Olskir Corporation's home base. I forgot about that. Where is your home sector? Let's go ahead and find out. It's actually up in this direction, just to the north here, so let's go ahead and remember those coordinates and enter a note. And we can say home sector once again. And now we should probably head up in that direction. That'd be pretty useful. There is a rift just near us here, which is going to block us a little bit, but not too bad. Looks like there's no interesting space we can jump to in the direction. There's something over there, but we'll just jump towards there. Just have to take an extra empty space jump. It's nice to be able to jump into space that has stuff wherever possible, but that'll do for now. Okay, a couple jumps later and we find ourselves at the Empire of Pureness Prime, which is the home sector of the Olskir Corporation. And as you can see, home sectors typically have a lot of things in them, but most importantly, they have all the essentials, basically. They have the equipment docks, they have the shipyards and the repair docks, they usually have like some trading posts and factories and things like that, and they have research stations and fighter factories and so on like that. So pretty helpful stuff. Whenever you need to like outfit a new ship, these are great places to go to. So you can also find things like military docks here as well, military outposts, which you can find, usually find like pirate hunting missions if there's any nearby pirates. Looks like this is a pretty safe area, so there isn't. But for now we're looking for the equipment dock, which is just over here. And we're going to scout what they have, and we're looking for a titanium salvaging turret, though certainly Naonite would work as well. I am not seeing any of that just here that we need right now. We're seeing some laser turrets and things like that, but no titanium or Naonite salvaging turrets. So what we can do is we could jump around looking for some more, or we could do what I talked about in one of the previous episodes, where you can basically just log out and log back in a single player game to refresh the wares of the vendor, and we'll probably just do that to conserve time for the purposes of the guides. But as I said before, if that breaks your immersion, you can play however you like. Okay, let's see what we got here. We do have a Naonite salvaging turret available. It's not a very good one, but it could be enough to get us started. There's also a mining turret here if we wanted to go the asteroid mining approach. But I quite like the salvaging approach from this point onwards. You can certainly mine if you enjoy it, but salvaging I find to be extremely lucrative in the current iteration of the game, the current version of the game. More profitable overall by a good margin. And not to mention, it's a bit more exciting because you actually get other drops as well. So we're just going to need to buy one of these. Ideally, you want to get the highest efficiency salvaging laser possible, but this is all we have available right now. So, well, yeah, this one's slightly better. This is independent targeting, so it'll deal less damage. We could go for the non-independent targeting one. The advantage of that is we can use our other weapons alongside of the non-independent one, although we could just not set this to independent. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the highest efficiency one. Most of the damage is going to be coming from our other weaponry anyway. So we'll go ahead and just buy the cheaper one, basically. And then we'll go ahead and outfit this here. But in order to do this, though, we have a little bit of a problem because we need to put this on a Naonite piece of hull or a Naonite block. In order to equip any weapon, it needs to be placed on a block of the same type or higher. So Naonite weapons need to be on at least Naonite. If we have a titanium armor here, like where we've been putting it, we're not able to put it there. So there's a few things we can do. We could firstly just upgrade this into a Naonite edge, or change this into a Naonite edge. The effect of this is interesting though, because this is an armor block. Naonite doesn't have armor, as I mentioned in a previous episode. Naonite is mostly for ship internals, so we can make a hull piece, which is basically what this edge is here. But it's going to be not as strong as armor. It's going to be a bit lighter. I think that'll be a bit lighter. And the HP is not going to be too bad, because Naonite is a bit better than titanium overall, but armor blocks are typically a little more powerful. Nonetheless, we have shields now, so it's not as big a deal, and we're not expecting to encounter any railguns for a while, which will fire through multiple blocks of your ship and can only be stopped by armor, but we're not worried about that for now, so we can go ahead and do this. So we'll transform this into a Naonite edge. You can see we actually lost 70 HP there. The plus 70 kind of indicates what changing back would be. As I said, this is a little backwards, a bit weird, but we lost 70 HP because the armor is tougher. But we do have some cool glowing effects going on now, which is kind of rad. But now I need to repaint my ship. Now I need to repaint my ship. That's okay. I'll repaint my ship just for you know, just because it's important. Okay, it's important. Don't worry about it. Okay, there we go, much better. Fixed. Saved. Alright. So the other thing I wanted to mention though is that we can go all in on the reducing weight of our ship. Since we have shields now and we're not encountering any railguns for a while, we can go all in on the reducing weight by converting armor into hull of a lighter variant before we really had to rely on armor. And for a while, we're okay with just our shields, though pulse cannons are the one exception to that. They will break through our shields, so we still need to make sure we have decent hull HP, but it might not be strictly necessary as long as you have a decent amount of hull, and overall size of your ship is okay, to not have to rely on armor so much. So I might go ahead and convert some of these armor blocks into a hull that I can afford to do, which is probably not too much right now, but I'll see what I can do. Alright, I converted about as much as I could afford to, based on my current Naonites, and we've reduced our weight a little bit, which is going to make us a little bit more maneuverable in our upcoming salvaging operations, which we are pretty much ready for. We just need to change over this salvaging turret over to our new Naonite one, which we should just be able to find this in here somewhere. We can actually go sort by material, and it'll help us locate the green ones here. So there's our Naonite salvaging turret. We also have found some other weapons as well, which could be worthwhile upgrading into. You'll notice as you move up the turret tiers that they will become bigger as well. And you notice I actually can't place this on here. I can turn the grid size down and see if I can't find the perfect placement, but this might not actually fit. It looks like it just fits once I turn the grid size down a bit. So just be aware of that. If you're placing them on a smaller edge, then you may need to increase the size of the edge, change the grid size a bit, or consider a different placement. And the other thing I'm going to do is just refit my weaponry out a little bit, just to see if we've gotten anything a bit higher DPS in recent times. So let's go ahead and just change some of these over. We did find our first plasma turret by the looks of things as well, which this one's actually not too bad. It's an independent one. We could use it independent, or we could just use it manually. I'm not too fussed either way on that one, but the DPS is pretty good based on our current levels. So it does consume a bit of energy, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. We can always change it if it is a problem. Alright, there we go, and we're now up to 166 Omicron. Not a lot still, but a little bit better, and our firepower looks a little fancier now as well. Alright, and now we're going to jump back towards that scrapyard where we're going to be able to get a ton of resources to build our next ship, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm excited to move up from this little rust bucket, scrappy little thing that I know some of you guys have been making fun of, but it's served us well. Nonetheless, it is time for it to retire and for us to upgrade into a bigger and better ship. Alrighty, we are back at the scrapyard, and I'm ready for some fun. Scrapyards are a whole lot of fun. because not only do you get to salvage a whole lot of stuff, get a ton of resources and get plenty of drops, but they're also, because you tend to spend a bit of time in them, you also tend to get attacked by pirates and Zotan every so often as well, so they stay pretty active. There are pretty strong defenders usually in these as well, so if we go around, these cruisers here are typically pretty strong. There's one over there, 27 k's away. The defenders of the scrapyards I've found are nearly always quite strong, so they'll help you defend any attacks that happen as well, as long as you engage near them if you're having trouble. So I'm looking forward to some salvaging action. So we are going to use G to locate the salvage yard, otherwise we can look for the icon on our screen there and use the middle mouse button to select it. Then we're going to talk to it. Well, first we're going to get near some salvage, because we don't want to waste any of our timer, so we're going to look for some salvage. So there's a few things you'll notice. All the ships are a little bit different. These guys here, with these little pods all over them like that, started along, and they have a pretty consistent aesthetic. These are cargo haulers. Sometimes you'll kill them and you'll get cargo from them. However, doing that before you have very good like hull damage or just a lot of DPS to destroy them quickly is not a super efficient use of time, but what you can do is destroy the end sections of them, the engine bays, because these guys always have located engines and thrusters and things like generators all in this section here, and they're pretty intact, so all these glowing green bits are going to be an excellent source of Naonite. Hey guys, I just want to pause the video right here for a second. Only a few hours after I finished recording this video, there was actually a announcement of some patches for the beta branch of the game. That's the section of the game that's not currently live. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be fixing mining and salvaging lasers so that they're not able to just tag a target to get full resources on destructions. What this should mean is that the method where you can use a salvage laser alongside your regular weapons to destroy blocks and still get full salvage will no longer work. So I just wanted to update this here because we do a bit of that in the video. So moving forwards, once this patch does release, it's not currently on the live version, but once it does release, you're going to need to dedicate exclusively to salvage lasers for salvaging purposes. And this is just going to make it even more important to really go for those shiny blocks, the really important blocks, rather than salvaging hull or armor where it's going to have a lot of health. So stick to your salvage lasers in the future once this changes in, and stick to salvaging the really juicy parts of the ships and moving on to other ships to try and stay efficient. The other things to go for are these guys just here. As you can see, this is like a large frigate class ship of some description. It's got a lot of engines, it's got a lot of glowing blocks, and that's the stuff we want to go for. So you're likely to get a lot of drops off these guys too. It can be nice when you find some bonus cargo for extra money, but we're mostly interested in getting materials and actual drops for now. So going for these guys and these shiny sections here is what we're looking for. So we might hit these guys to begin. We'll just position ourselves near some salvage to start off with. And we'll go talk to the scrapyard, and we're just going to go ahead and buy, we can afford a 15-minute license, so we're going to go ahead and do about 15 minutes of salvaging. We have 0 Naonite. Let's see how much we end up with. Alright, let's get things started. So again, we're going to be going for, just make sure we've got both active. You can, in the current iteration of the game, fire with your regular weapons. As long as a salvage laser is also hitting that block, you will get the full salvage from it. So you can go a lot faster. They may change this in the future, so just check. Based on when this video was posted, we want to target it to make it a little easier. So just check whether this still works for you, but as you can see, I'm still salvaging and getting all the Naonite from this. I've already gotten over 1,000 Naonite here. So I'm going to blow up all the shiny sections. Sometimes the shiny sections will be hidden underneath other stuff, so you can kind of like chip away and see if there's anything else in there. But these other little blocks, like these hull blocks and stuff, we're not going to get much actual salvage from here, so we can get barely anything from that. So going for the glowy blocks is what we're looking for, and those little easy ones to blow up. We can blow up these bits and pieces here, but they're not going to be super lucrative, so we're going to mostly skip that for now. We're looking to max out our 15 minutes expenditure with as much Naonite and stuff as possible. Engines are okay. I feel like I usually get a decent amount from them, but the best of those generators, things like that, contain a lot of Naonite. Any energy or shield generators or batteries, anything like that is the way to go. So we're going to go to the juicy battery / generator section of this ship and just cut it up. You also see these guys go down pretty quickly. There's a nice bunch. Already got 5,000 Naonite. So buying 5,000 Naonite cost us 100,000 credits. We just got 9,000, and how much did we spend at the scrapyard? The scrapyard for 15 minutes? We spent 15,000 credits, so like a bit over 10% of the amount we spent, and we've already gotten twice the amount of Naonite. As you can see, this is a far more efficient way of getting ourselves some Naonite. But we needed to, we wanted to just get those shields going right off the bat anyway. just for safety's sake, in case we got attacked while doing this or flying around. We didn't want to have to reset. Looks like we've gotten most of the juicy bits off this. Let's just go for these engines as well. There's a decent amount there. We can blow up these little blocks as well. They go down pretty quickly. Cut open these bits. There's some generators hidden in here. Sometimes they'll be underneath kind of like little armor blocks. If you see like a block section that looks like it's covering something, like this bit here, usually there'll be a generator or something in there. It looks like there isn't this time, but often you'll find generators in those spots right there. I'm gonna have a little bit of poke in the middle here and see if there's anything in there. But it might be a good idea. There's plenty of scraps here. There's plenty of wreckages here, so it's not gonna be a bad idea just to move on to the next one once we've got all the easy pickings. So we got that one. I see a lot of shiny bits on this ship. We're going to try and keep these ships intact for the most part. So working your way out, like from the out inwards. Probably didn't need to hit that part though. So see how I'm kind of like working out to the center, from the outside to the middle is what I'm trying to say, so that they don't fly off into space and you have to retarget and be a pain in the ass. Sometimes as well, if you make like a skinny block, it'll like fling around and make it much harder to salvage as well. So we're just going to make life a bit easier on ourselves. Let's go check the underside of this. Well, I just got salvage a bit of that. 23,000 Naonite. We're going to be looking to get a fair bit of Naonite to build a pretty decent frigate. We're going to jump ship, like jump ship. We're going to jump to a much bigger and more impressive size of ship on the next builds. So it's going to be a big jump in terms of power for us, which is going to allow us to do, and I'm excited about that because it's going to allow us to do engage in some piracy or some warfare, or privateering as I like to call it even. Sometimes you'll pop thruster blocks and they'll have a lot in them. I don't really know why that is. Usually thrusters aren't too lucrative. This looks like a piece of hull here, and it looks like it might be covering something, so I'm just going to cut my way in case there's anything in there. Nah, it doesn't look like there's anything in there. Hit up like those gyros or something in there as well, get a bit from them, but it looks like it's a pretty good idea just to move on to the next one now. Is this the one we were doing earlier? This is the one we were doing earlier. We can grab those engines real quick, I guess. We haven't got any drops yet though. I'm surprised we haven't got any drops yet. If you're a bit more complete about your destruction of ships, you'll find a lot more drops, but mostly trying to get that Naonite to start off with. And we should get some drops in the process if we're lucky. Though nothing yet. Not all the ships will contain the material you're looking for, so just select them with the mouse button and it'll show actually, once you're close enough, how much of each is in there. So you can see this is a mixture of iron and Naonite. So we can just go for those glowy Naonite pieces. Just be careful. I like to harp on about it again and again, but just be careful when flying around. There's a lot of ships in here. It's easy to crash into something and explode your ship and start back at your home territory, which might be a decent amount of away from you by now. So, you know, just make sure you're aiming off to the sides, so on and so forth. There's a hyperspace system, so we're starting to get some drops at least. Ooh. Here I am telling you guys to be careful. I almost had a collision there. I had to thrust a little bit in the opposite direction to avoid that one. Oops, that would be embarrassing. There's a pulse cannon that we just got there, which is those ones that will go through shields. And it looks like some pirates are attacking the sector. I was just thinking, I'm surprised we haven't been attacked yet, because it's been probably close to 8 minutes or something. I would have thought we would have been attacked by now, but it does look like we have some pirates warping in. There's also some cuckoo salesman. We're going to leave him alone. But we are going to look for those pirates, just to keep an eye where they are. Looks like they're not quite in the sector yet. Or they're probably just out of my range. Ah, they're up there. There we go. Up this way. Okay, they're in that direction. We'll keep salvaging while we wait for some of the friendlies to engage, and then we'll help out. We want to boost those relations, and getting some combat kills is certainly not going to hurt as well. And it just means even more things to salvage. We're mostly interested in the salvaging, but I'm always up for a bit of combat, so I'm happy to throw down with a few pirates now. I'm feeling a little more secure now that we've got some weapon upgrades and some decent shields going. So I'm ready for that. Alright, just keep an eye on the pirates there. Looks like the pirates have engaged. I'm gonna wait till they get a little bit weakened first by the friendly... oh, looks like there's... Oh, it's actually an equipment merchant that's in combat right now. They might not last so long. I did check whether they had any interesting wares, but they didn't have anything too good on them. Let's just kind of keep an eye on these guys here. How's he going? It's getting a little low. Let's just give them a quick scan, see if they have shields. Alright, so these pirates are probably going to be a little weaker. None of them seem to have any kind of... Well, the guy's got 150 Omicron. 30, 130. So it looks like at least 2 of them are a bit stronger, but none of them have any shields or anything, so they're probably not going to be too bad. We can probably help out a little bit here. Turn off my salvage lasers since I'm out of range. Be aware that the plasma bolts will take a little longer to travel, so if you're leading your target, you will need to lead a little further if you want the plasma bolts to hit. We are getting shot at. Oh, there goes the salesman. Alright, looks like these guys are doing a pretty decent amount of damage to our shields, so we're going to duck back a little bit. We're not going to be able to sustain very long in a firefight with those guys from the looks of it, so just kind of just poking, just feeling how bad that damage is. I'll keep doing some salvage while I kind of just keep these guys out of range, and we'll wait for some more of the friendly cruisers to show up, because I don't think they've actually gotten to the fight yet. Ooh, that was a juicy bit of Naonite. Love hitting those. It's something very satisfying about salvaging, blowing up little chunks and getting the juicy resources out. I quite like the salvaging in this game. The voxel block design of the game certainly lends itself well to salvaging. Alright, where's these friendly cruisers? That's what we need to find. Okay, so there's a cruiser pretty far out that way, and it looks like someone is engaging. Oh, this salesman from the Cuckoo is engaging as well. It's like he's got a bunch of bolters. I don't want to waste my salvaging license though, so keep salvaging. I want to get as much Naonite as I can. Oh, that sound is actually cannon fire, that kind of really kind of like higher pitched whistling sound. That's actually like legit cannons, so that's what he's shooting there. How are these pirates going? I don't have shields, so they're not going to restore at least. Looks like our salvage license is running out in 2 minutes. I'll try and do a little bit more salvaging here. The slightly awkward thing about fighting in salvaging yards is if you don't have a salvage license at the time, and you destroy a pirate ship, and then like some of your bullets hit like the wreckage, they'll be like, hey, you don't have a salvage license. Get a salvage license. And they'll give you like a bunch of warnings, but eventually you'll start losing reputation with them, and you might even be attacked, so gotta be a little careful about fighting in salvage zones if you don't have a license up at the time. These guys have a little bit of firepower. I could take some kind of pot shots at him here. I might have a little bit longer range than him, maybe. Nah, looks like we've probably got about the same range. Anyway, I can hit him here, but he's probably gonna start shooting back. Yeah. Well, we can do a bit of damage to him here, let our shields absorb the fire. If we're not getting shot by all of them at once, it shouldn't be too bad. Turn my laser off. So I'm firing that plasma cannon. I'm noticing my power drain hasn't really gone up too much at all, so looks like the plasma cannon alone is not going to be too much of a problem. Generator seems to be fine from the looks of it. Shields are holding. Just going to try and put myself in a position where I'm not getting shot by that other guy at the same time, maybe. Maybe if we descend behind some of this salvage, we can get a better angle here. Because that guy is actually shredding us. Alright, I'm just going to pull over to this salvage yard here. If they attack the I'm surprised the cruisers haven't gotten here yet, but if they attack the salvage yard, they'll probably get here in a hurry. Salvaging license is running out in 20 seconds. Well, it looks like that's it for our 15-minute salvage license. We managed to get 50,000 Naonite, not bad. We paid 100k for 5,000 Naonite, and we ended up with 50,000 from paying 15k, so go math that one out. Looks like we've got some Zotan warping in as well, or who are these guys? Oh, it's actually a big trading fleet from the Echo, the Echo faction. So these guys don't like us, but they're not going to fire on us immediately unless we do something to provoke them. But they could end up being a bit of help. We could also end up boosting our relations here a little bit if we destroy these bandits in their presence. They'll be like, hey, look at that guy, he's doing good stuff. Let's fire on this guy here. The one we were damaging earlier is a little further away, but this guy was actually doing a fair bit of damage. He's got 150 Omicron. You can see our shields just chunk down when he hits us. But we can get down to about like half or 40 or 30% shields and still get away in time. I'm just like slowly backing up as we go. I don't really have very powerful rear thrusters. Also, just keep an eye, like, when you're reversing, that you're not going to reverse into something, so zooming out can help with that. And I think this cargo fleet will be engaging soon. Yeah, it looks like they're going to start engaging some of those pirates now. I think we can finish off this guy before he takes our shields down. He's missing a lot at this range as well, so this works pretty well in my favor here. Our damage isn't amazing right now, but it's good enough from the looks of it. There we go, good stuff. And then see, it's like, you need a salvage license for this sector. We just want to be checking our fire very carefully in here, because if we attack these guys, they're going to be pissed. So we're just going to be very carefully scanning who we're shooting at. And that is a mining laser, a Naonite mining laser. Not bad. So that's a freighter. We want to be avoiding that. And these are the pirates here. So we can move forwards a little bit. And we should be able to take on this guy and finish him off. Pretty good. That's good. He's currently distracted. We're getting a few shots on him here. Looks like he's about to go down. I don't like that. We're protecting the cargo fleet. Just a few shots to finish him off, and there he goes. And now we just want to deal with this other one here. I might just fly upwards a little bit, so that we're not hitting that salvage and peeving off the the salvage yard owner. I always think of them as like cantankerous old men sitting on their porch, but like, "Hey, you don't have a salvage license. Stop that! You hear, you ruffian!" Shaking their cane at you as you are quite clearly defending them from pirates, but I don't care. You didn't pay for a salvage license, and you're technically salvaging for free right now, so it's not good enough. That looks like bolter fire. It's pretty hectic bolter fire. But we got this guy down to half. Our shields are still at 60%-ish, so we should be fine here. Guy's getting distracted every now and then. I'm not taking much actual damage from this guy. He's only got 11 lumber. Look, he's actually not a threat right now, so we'll change targets. He's only got like some very small guns right now, just one small turret at the moment, whereas this guy's much more of a threat, so I'm just gonna circle around this guy. Even when you're moving, you have to lead the target because your bullets kind of travel in the direction you're traveling. So you want to aim just off to the right if you're moving left, for example. My alarm goes off telling me to go take the trash out because the bins are coming tomorrow morning. The rubbish trucks are coming tomorrow morning, so I'll have to remember that. I'm totally going to forget, but it's alright. Because of Avorion! There we go, let's move in and finish that guy off. There we go. You need a salvage license for this sector, or we might get your salvage license. What are you doing? And we'll finish this pirate off as well. There we go. So a couple drops there. We'll pick up a few of these. Boosted some relations very nicely. Couple of bits and pieces, scanning, and another turret chip, but they're all very low tier. Let's go check out this one here as well. What is this? Looks like another force cannon. Force turret, yeah, not much use to us. So, we could purchase another salvage license and get a little bit more salvage. I think I want to get to like 100k Naonite, so I think I will get another 15 minutes here. Of course, once you get better salvage lasers and better weaponry, you will salvage much faster, and you'll get more out of the things you do salvage, so then you'll get more value for money out of those salvage licenses. Our crew was automatically paid, 17,000 credits. By the way, I don't think I've actually ever mentioned that, so just in case, but you can, if you're not set to auto-pay crews, they'll eventually get angry and leave, so you can manually pay your crews once every 180 minutes, or you can just check auto-pay, just check auto-pay. If you go to a massive ship right away when you're only like iron and titanium, and you're not really making any money yet, it might be a bit of a problem, but otherwise crew pay is not too much of an issue. But you certainly save money if you hire a professional crew, because although they cost more in the beginning, in the long run you end up paying them less because you need less crew. You're paying less actual crew members. You pay them the same, it's just the only difference is in the actual hiring cost. So here we go, this one's a bit juicier. That wreck had nothing on it for us. Alright, there we go, 40,000 Naonite, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, oops, I actually didn't have my salvage laser active for a while there. So, whoops. That'd be why I wasn't getting any Naonite earlier. Hey, there we go. Finally a rarer drop. Unfortunately, it's a mining one. It's an Orgonite mining system. Orgonite's actually one of these tiers because the mining systems seem to be somewhat random, so that'll highlight Orgonite asteroids. I find the mining systems to be not useful at all. They just highlight asteroids, but it's so easy to find asteroids anyway, using the tips I've showed you in earlier episodes. So I find them not very useful. If they gave you like an efficiency boost or something, that'd be nice, but yeah. That's mostly one to sell. Still, that's probably going to sell for like 100k or something, so happy with that. Ooh, what is that? Orange turret? Don't mind if I do. Looks like an orange laser. Ooh, okay, 47 DPS. It's not too bad. Independent targeting. Hey, for independent targeting, 47 DPS is pretty good. Could work pretty nicely as like a point defense laser, basically. Chuck it somewhere on our ship and have it auto-fire on any nearby enemies, so I kind of don't mind lasers for that. They have shorter ranges, typically, but that's a decent little laser right there, so I don't mind that too much. There's about a minute left on my second salvaging license. We ended up with 80,000 Naonite even, not too bad. But we got a little bit of Zotan action over here. They're fighting one of the, salesman who's about to die. We could have a look about engaging with these Zotan, but they actually look pretty strong. There's one here, which we can see if we can fight him before the others join in, but could be a little sketchy actually. We've got one plasma cannon at least, which will help with cutting away their shields. We are getting attacked by two here. We'll see how we go. This might be a little sketchy though. They're taking a fair bit of fire right now. Shields aren't jumping down too fast at least. We're also not taking them down super fast either. Oh, but there's those cannon barrages. Oh, the plasma there is going to take down our shields very quickly. Alright, we're probably going to want to back off now. Because as you can see, that plasma is just destroying our shields. So we've got to be a little careful about that one at the moment. So let's just move out of range and see if we can't kind of like pull some of them away. Some will be faster than others. Unfortunately, because they have shields, it'll they'll kind of heal a little bit in between us engaging. We also got pirates attacking the sector too. This guy's got cannons which typically have a lot longer range, so he's gonna be able to shoot on us when we're not. I actually see some shiny drops over there too. Ooh, I kind of want to go see what those are. Are they fighting the pirates? Well, this couldn't have worked out better. Looks like the Zotan are fighting the pirates. We can just like kill steal here basically. Once one gets low, just take some shots, but let them weaken each other out. Weaken each other a bit and then just finish them off. So it looks like the Zotan will probably win this fight. The pirates got some good firepower, but they don't have the shields that the Zotan have. Let's take some pot shots at the Zotan here and help them out a little bit. And then hopefully things will work pretty nicely in Alpha over here while these guys are distracted. Let's take some shots at this pirate, just weaken him up a little bit. How's the Zotan going here? This guy's getting kind of low. I might just move in this direction a bit. See if I can't take some shots at him. Weaken him up a little bit. We don't have a salvaging license at the moment. We're taking shots from this Zotan here. He's slightly out of range too. Our shields are pretty good right now. Looks like the pirates are actually winning this fight. Alright, we're gonna help the Zotan then. I've always loved that in games, when you come across two factions fighting each other, two like things that you're normally enemies with fighting each other, or even if they're like you're friends with both of them and they're fighting. I've always loved that. Ever since the first time I really remember that happening was in the original Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2. Getting random encounters where you'd come across like some traders fighting some bandits or something, some raiders, and oh, we need to get out of here. And I always loved that because after it was always like you'd hang out, wait for them to be almost dead, then swoop in and finish off whoever's alive still, or you'd just wait until they're, you know, dead and then go pick up the things that they dropped. Always loved that. So it looks like the Zotan have been cleared up. Well, this gives us a good opportunity to go suss out what's over here. I see some shinies. They could just be paints, but that orange color there is very close to the legendary color. It looks like they're just paints though. There's like 3 different paint colors here. Well, that's okay too, I suppose. I don't mind getting a little bit of Eternal Brown and some Infinity Dodger Blue. Certainly doesn't hurt. Okay, let's see if we can finish off these pirates. These guys actually have a fair bit of firepower. One is pretty weak here. He's a little further away though. This guy has a lot of firepower, 200 Omicron, which is on the higher end of what we've been seeing lately. So what I might do is scoot around this way, keep him at about 5.5 Ks, and then I'll move in to take some shots at this guy and finish him off if we can. That guy's 6 Ks away. One of them had a bit longer range, so I'll just have to be aware of that. Okay, there we go. Who, what are they? Oh, they're shooting at another friendly over there. Okay, that's good. The big one up the top is distracted. That's perfect. And this guy's currently not facing us. These cannons appear to be on the other side. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. And now we can finish off this guy. This guy had a lot of firepower though, so I'm just going to watch my shields very carefully and get ready to take some evasive maneuvers. I should really be dipping right about now. I'm just going to try and do a little bit more damage. And getting ready to dip. And alright, it's time to go. Our shields are way too low. So I'm just gonna try and... He's pretty accurate too. Whoa, we should have left a little bit earlier. Just doing some serpentine movements. There we go, I'm out of range now. Okay, how's this guy going? Who is this? This is just a freighter. Looks like this guy's actually not holding up very well. He is gonna go down, it looks like. He's not even gonna be able to defeat the one that he took on there. I'm trying to target him, I end up targeting bits of his ship that fell off. That's unfortunate. I did, while I was salvaging, get some shield drops though, so it'd be a good idea to take this hyperspace upgrade out. And maybe look at these. So we've got an energy to shield converter. We've got 2 energy to shield converters, which I don't think we'll be able to support right now. Apparently we actually can, so that's going to boost our total shield up, but it's not going to give us shield recovery. What we really need is shield recovery, but I don't have any of that, so that's not ideal. Alternatively, we can chuck another turret on instead. Let me quickly chuck another turret on while these guys are fighting. We do have some new turrets. We have some laser turrets, but I'll have to get a little bit close to use those. 74 DPS, green laser turret right there. Triple plasma turret. Let's go ahead and use that. We'll whack that on here. Oh, it needs to be Naonite. Can we squeeze it on there? That'll do for now then. Okay, that'll give us a little bit more firepower here. It's not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so how are these guys going? These guys don't actually have shields, but the plasma's still pretty high DPS, so I'm not too fussed by that. Okay, these guys are both pretty low, and our shields are about back up to half. Who's further away? Alright, this guy's closest, so I'm going to circle around this way to keep my distance with the other guy. Move into range here, and get ready to take some shots. Okay, there we go. I'll keep drifting to the right here a little bit. And then we're going to start to stop that drifting a bit here. This guy's still got a lot of firepower. Plasma's missing him a bit. I'm missing him quite a bit overall. I'm going to circle back around this way. Just to give myself a better angle. Finish this guy off. Moving close. We're going to have to get out of here though. Shields are really low. Boost away from this guy for now. Once we could add some more Naonite shields now. But I'm gonna save that for now, and save that for the next episode to build our next ship. So we're gonna just hold off on that for now, and we'll try and defeat these guys the old-fashioned way with pure skill and metal. I mean the METTLE kind of metal. There's a bunch of drops over here from the looks of it. Is that cargo? Might actually be cargo. Oh yeah, this was actually a cargo freighter that was fully destroyed. Be interesting to see what sort of cargo is that is, but we don't have time for that right now. We're getting shot at. Okay, we have to lead a bit more here. There we go. Ease off on the leading a little bit. That guy's a little scary. He doesn't have much Omicron listed anymore. I think some of his weapons have been blown off, but the ones that are still on him, they do a lot of damage. See our shield's getting eaten away very quickly. He's also really hard to hit because he's quite a narrow design. Trying to hit that, aim for the largest section of his ship there, that backside. Aim for the booty. We're gonna get, oh, the guy's angry at us for salvaging. I'm sorry, it was an accident. I'm trying to kill Zyton, man. Oh, pirates even. I'm trying to kill pirates. All right, this is getting pretty close. Let's do this. There we go. Not too bad. 5% shields left to spare. Pff, not even a problem. We thank you for taking care of those ships. Yay! You need a salvaging license. Instantly switched over to being pissed about us not having a salvage license. So I just want to, one last thing, just suss out what this cargo is, because if it's something of high value, then, well, that could be pretty good. Let's go ahead and chuck a Naonite cargo bay. We can always take it off afterwards. Let's just go chuck one on there for now. And go see what this is. These will probably be flagged as stolen goods, but we can check what they are. Can we scan that guy and see if he's actually got anything inside? Let's get a little closer. Military Tesla coils. Ooh, those are high value. Unfortunately, they are classified as dangerous goods though. So we don't have an excellent place to try and sell those, so... let's just see for a second. There's a lot of Tesla coils here. They're worth 9,000 credits each, but we would have to spend like 100k to get a license, or very carefully avoid detection with this. I think we'll wait until we build our next ship before we engage in any piracy and dealing with stolen goods, so... For now, we'll unfortunately leave that. It hurts to leave that behind, but I think probably the better choice right now, until we build our next ship, which will probably be in the next episode, because I'm really feeling like we have that need to upgrade right about now. But I tell you what, our efforts in the salvage yard have been pretty fruitful. We got 80,000 Naonite from about 30,000 credits spent, so pretty easy Naonite right there. And we got a few more systems upgrades, got a couple shield ones, nothing particularly amazing in there. But we did find some nice turrets, which was pretty good. If we sort by, well, you can actually just see the green ones. Pretty much all the green ones we found salvaging. So we put a few on our ship already, but we also got our first cannon, 108 damage, not bad, 10.2 kilometers range. Holy moly, that's long range. It's got that 41% increased range. That's pretty juicy. We'll have to use that just for funsies. We've got some new lasers that we can use. We also got some pulse cannons. So we've gotten some new weapon types that we haven't had an experience with in this run yet. So pretty good stuff. Naonite mining and a exceptional laser turret here. That's pretty high DPS for an independent targeting laser. So some pretty good weapons that we can outfit our new ship with once we upgrade. The only thing I feel like I'm missing is some more turret control systems, but we can probably try and get some of those or purchase some of those when we build our new ship. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this episode. I think we've gone pretty long here. I hope you guys enjoyed this progression inwards towards the center of the galaxy, getting of Naonite, building of shields, and salvaging of salvage. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thank you very much for watching.